The Georgia Bulldogs defeated the Texas Longhorns 35-10 Saturday night between the hedges in Athens in a huge victory as they wrapped up SEC play. I was in the room for the post-game press conference, and I don't usually do this, but I wanted to come on here and give my thoughts about Kirby's answers the other night after the game because I really thought that a few of them were very, very good. Let's get into it.
Yeah, what a great atmosphere for college football. I love it. Our fans were impactful in the game, and I thought the whole game management crew, it was our early atmosphere. Like, we got there for warm-ups, and it was really good. They impacted the game. We started fast on offense, and that was a big key to the success of the game, to play with a lead and try to play from ahead. I'm really proud of our Texas kids. That it was really important to them. Got four or five of those guys, and then I thought Gunner, resiliency. He bounced back from the pick, and that's going to happen. He played really well, and Mike continues to put things, and the offensive staff put things on his plate. He handles them, and proud of the defensive performance we had tonight. The third downs, the pass rush, the control in the run game. It was a total team effort. So really proud of the guys. Happy for them.
And he addressed it right there off the top. Georgia started fast. They played well. They continued throughout. And then when you got to the fourth quarter, you could feel it on the field. You could feel it in the stadium that they were just going to tighten the noose on the Texas Longhorns. And that's exactly what we saw. The narrative early in the year was that Georgia starts slow. And it was not just a narrative. It was a fact. But Georgia, over the last few weeks, seems to have figured something out, and they have not done that recently. So that is a very good sign as we head into the rest of what this year has left.
What did you see in that maybe made you think the onside kick would work? Why'd you use it there?
Well, we worked that a lot, and we practiced a lot, and little walk-on kid from Texas, Cash Jones. I mean, he I bet you he's taken 250 reps of that in his time being here, and he kept asking me, when are we ever going to call it, Coach? I'd love to do it. I'd love to do it. And we just felt like it was there. They got the best returner in the country. I'd already seen him enough. One time about burst through a hole that an 18-wheeler could have gone through, and we got a holding call that prevented it, but I wasn't kicking it to him again. I'd just soon kick it to one of those front guys.
I love it because after the game, Kirby, you still got the adrenaline flowing. He's tried to collect his thoughts and stay on message, but he's going to tell you exactly what he's thinking. He's like, I'm not kicking it to that dude again. Why take our chances? We're going to go for it. And again, it's something you practice all the time. It's those little things, and having the nerve to make that call when he did, and then trusting his young men to execute it. That says a lot about who Kirby is as a head coach, because he told us earlier this year, right? I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to go for it and trust my players. And that's exactly what happened on that onside kick.
I believe that did in terms of momentum for the game.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking when that happens, because you just gave up a touchdown and the defense is over there drinking water, and they all of a sudden got to go back out. So I don't know what the continuous time was they were on the field, but our offense is like a big, strong anaconda just squeezing you, and you get squeezed, and you finally catch a little air, and then they're back trying to suffocate you. So it was a big momentum play, and it would have been, every one of y'all would have thought I was an idiot if it didn't work. So that's okay too. That's part of football.
Having been a competitor myself, having played the sport, it's one of those things. He's exactly right. You get off the field, yeah, you gave up the touchdown, but now something happens, that quick change, it in your brain, as much as you train to overcome those sorts of things, in the heat of the moment, in a game like this, with a history like these two teams have, for Georgia to get that touchdown, then get the onside kick, it had to be crushing. It had to be such a deflating moment for that defense to have to turn around and go right back out there. And then Georgia punches it in again. That's your ball game. That's what swung it, and it's all because of the nerve and the confidence Kirby has in regards to his players and their plan.
Fourth down calls helped prolong that drive before that. Just what was the decision making on those plays, the one where you ran the play and the one where Texas jumped outside?
Yeah, we felt like we could get the first. I talked to Mike about what he would call if I was willing to go for it. I was not going to go for it, and they reviewed it and backed it up further, which that wasn't great. And he had a play that I liked, and I'd seen him run it and felt like it would work, and it did. And a lot of credit goes to the offensive and defensive staff in this game, guys. Like, they put a lot of things in. They put a lot of hard work and thought. That was a play off of another play, and you always want to stay a step ahead. And a lot of credit goes to Mike and Gunner for executing the play. And then the other one, we weren't going for it, but it worked.
And that's cool too, because it's one of those situations where obviously the game planning is key, it's crucial. But Kirby, again, is pointing to the fact that he told us earlier this year, I believe in my guys and I'm going to go for it. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to try to win the game. That is what we saw on display on Saturday night. And it is that willingness to do that, show that faith in your team, be aggressive like that in big moments that separates teams at the top of the SEC, because this league is razor thin. The margin for error is razor thin. These games are decided by one score or less really often. And if you can make a play like that and essentially break another team's will, both with how you're playing and then the choices you make from a coaching standpoint, it's everything. And that's what separates Georgia from Texas, Georgia from the rest of the league and most teams in the country.
It's his first career sack tonight and a number of big plays off the edge as well. How is his development sort of aligned with how this defense has improved a little bit?
Well, he's gotten opportunities, right? You guys are so consumed by the rush, and I'm just consumed by stopping the run to get opportunities to rush. Best rush teams in the country are the ones that get people in third and long. And we had a really good third down performance tonight. 2 of 12 is what they were on third down. So our guys played hard, and like I said, had a good plan. If you can stop the run, then you make it really hard to play quarterback when you can't when you struggle to run the ball, and that's what helps Gunner. We have a consistent commitment to the run and the run game.
And I'm so happy they asked about QUINTAVIOUS Johnson, and that young man. I haven't spoken to him after the game a couple of different times this season. Such a great young man, first off. So let's start right there. But beyond that, just the fact that you've been able to see him grow and step into his own once he has the opportunities, which is what Kirby's talking about there. It is so like rewarding for me just watching it. I know it has to be rewarding for him and the coaching staff. And Kirby is dead on right. You have to earn the right to rush the passer. So Gabe Harris on the other side, Q on the side opposite Gabe, they are setting those edges, playing that run. You can see it in the statistics. You can see the way Georgia's playing against the run this year. They are better. And it's because of the play of those two dudes on the edge in large part, along with the rest of the defensive line. And now that they're getting opportunities to get after the quarterback, we're seeing what they can do when it comes to being a pass rusher.
You guys took a loss here in September, but end up 7-1 in the SEC. What do you make of how this team has kept going?
Proud of them, man. They've gotten better. You know, I think a lot of teams in the country, it's hard to keep getting better this time of year. You start questioning what I'm doing. I mean, let's be honest, we're 2 months from the portal opening. I mean, there's kids that are like, I don't know if I really want to go out here and get better. I'm not talking about Texas now. I'm talking about just in college football, and that has not been the approach of our team. They continue to get better. They continue to grow. They work hard. They believe in each other. I mean, it's a good football team, guys, but, you know, you're a week away from humility.
And that's the key to Georgia's season so far. Again, if you're no stranger to this channel, you know that I've been talking about the development, the growth of these young players, and how once we got to this point in the year, we would see them start to contribute and really make a difference for Georgia. And that's exactly what Kirby's talking about right here. You've got teams out there that aren't getting better. And that's for a myriad of reasons. Maybe the season didn't go the way they want. Maybe they're looking at the portal, whatever it is. But at Georgia, these young men are bought in. They are about the team. They are about development and improvement and just making that choice to get better day after day after day. And it is showing in the results on the field.
This receivers room and how they've been able to step up when Cole Young out going to see that.
Yeah, they work hard. I mean, I can't wait to see C.J. Wiley and Landon Rolden and Thomas Blackshear and Talon Taylor when we're able to get him back, and Tyler Williams. We got some good young receivers who are getting a lot of reps during the week, and you know it didn't hit for them tonight, but they're gonna be good players. And the guys that made plays, Noah stepped up big. Zach continues to be a return threat and make plays with the ball in his hand, and Gunner's getting more and more confidence getting them the ball.
I'm also excited for those young players. I am waiting. I feel like it's close that we are going to see C.J. Wiley sooner rather than later, that we're going to see more of Sokovie White. Talon Taylor is getting closer to getting back, and I am excited to see what those young men can do.
CJ Allen.
Yeah, I don't know. Something to do with his knee. I don't know. They were taking him to get an MRI. I don't know the results, but he said he was good after the game, so we'll see.
So this is obviously immediately after the game. We now know that CJ Allen is not going to play against Charlotte. Could be precautionary. He has a small injury, but it could be that 1 week off rest he'll be ready to go against Georgia Tech. We don't really know right yet. We will find out, but hopefully, fingers crossed, the reports that we're hearing that it's not as bad as it could have been. Hopefully, those are accurate, and that's what I hope the situation is for CJ.
Gunner completed passes to 8 different receivers. How hard is it to game plan for you guys when he's able to spread the ball around like that?
I don't know. We've been doing that for years. I mean, every time I come in here, they're like, oh, I covered 9, 10, 12, 8. Like, I don't look at game planning about, one wide out or a bunch of wide outs. I think that's just you take what the defense gives you. We haven't had a super dominant wide out, so we spread the ball around and get a lot of touches for a lot of people. I mean, I think what makes us hard to defend is the package of run and pass.
That's true. The fact that they keep all defenses off balance with what they can do is vital in their game plan and keeping other defenses off balance, for sure. I just have a question. If you had a dominant wide receiver, say Jeremiah Smith was playing for the University of Georgia, would you force the ball to him? Or would it be that he had to conform, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but just would he have to meld into the overall philosophy of what Georgia is, which is a team game? It'd be really interesting to see. Maybe we will. Maybe one of these young wide receivers will develop and become that guy who demands the ball. But right now, that's a question. I think it's a fair question, but it is an interesting one for me.
And CJ, what did you think of how the defense played after he went out?
Yeah, I was concerned because he is the leader, the centerpiece of that group. He's the heart and soul, and Raylan stepped up, did some good things. Young Zayden got in and got to rush some, do some things. Justin and Chris, they practiced really hard every day, and they stepped up and played.
I've talked about that linebacker room since back before spring practice. I think that room is amazing. I think those players are amazing. I think they are doing great things for the University of Georgia this year. And I have recently been talking about Zayden Walker. He's coming. He had a sack on Saturday night against Arch. He brings something different to that room, and I am so excited to see what happens with those young bucks over the next few games.
Curry, one of the things your players consistently say is that one of the reasons you guys are so big, so good in big games is the way that you guys prepare beforehand.
Right.
What exactly are you doing in preparation to make them so good in big game moments like this game?
Work. I mean, we believe in being physical. I mean, we get after it. We believe in what we do. We have a process. I don't know that we're doing anything different than anybody else. I had other people say that their practices are similar to ours, but our kids believe in it. Our kids believe in down and dirty. They believe in, the SEAL mantra of let's take them to the water. Let's see who can survive in the water and see who's going to tap out first, ring the bell, and run from the contact contest. And they believe in that. Like, they believe in the physical toughness that it takes to win games. And that has prevailed in a lot of our games, a lot of our tight ball games, that has prevailed.
One thing's for sure. The fact that Georgia buys into that physical nature is absolutely, like, you can see it in the way they play. Kirby pointed to it right there. It has changed the outcomes of games for Georgia this year. They're different. They are built different. Not everybody is about it. And at Georgia, they are about it. It is a culture thing. It's every day. It's not on Saturdays. It is Monday, Bloody Tuesday. It's on Wednesday and Thursday. It's the walkthroughs, the intensity of the walkthroughs. It's everything. It is about it at the University of Georgia, and it matters.
Gunner briefly told us about it. How was it about the Navy SEALs? What did you think about that? Works so well for your team?
It just fit this game. I mean, it was Drew Brannon, our sports mental guy, and we had a long talk Friday, and we talked about, what's not for some people is for others. And the hardest part of the SEAL training is when they go after the hype phase. Everybody's hyped up before the game. Everybody's hyped up at kickoff. But when they go to that water phase and they go down and do the water torture, surf torture, it's not everybody wants it. It's not for everybody. And people start ringing the bell. And we wanted our guys to take it to the water and see who wanted to ring the bell and be the most physical team. And they enjoyed that. They enjoy that personality.
Oh, that's so good, because the way he phrased it there, they enjoyed that personality. That is so good, because it speaks directly to the mindset, the culture. It is ingrained in this team to be like, we know we want it. We're going to find out if you do. And more often than not this year, the other guys haven't wanted it.
I don't think it was all third and long. So maybe some long situations that Texas seemed to get out of. How y'all work on that? Make that better?
I don't know. They were 2 of 12. They won 2 and we won 10. But
Right now, I don't mean specifically on third. There were a couple like first and longs or whatever. It seems like teams are converting that a little bit more than they need to.
yeah, I don't know. I don't want them to. We just got to get better at it. I don't know specifically what you're asking about.
Sometimes Kirby just doesn't respond. He says he doesn't understand because he doesn't want to answer that question, but he kind of did. I mean, he's like, we just have to get better at it. I mean, there's no, and Dean, that was a good question by Dean. Now, it was getting at the point of, yeah, you were good on third down tonight, but you had some 1st and 15s or whatever that were converted, as an example. And that's the same stuff. It's the same basic nuts and bolts of being able to play solid defense, right? Because it's like we were talking about earlier. You have to do good on 1st and 2nd down to get to rush on 3rd down. You have to get them behind the sticks. So that just means you have failed to do the job that you needed to do on that play. And instead of taking 2 plays or 3 plays to convert, they're just getting it in chunks. And it could be as simple as a call. It could be a busted assignment. It could be any of those things. But it was interesting to hear Kirby go about it that way.
Performance tonight.
I don't think it had anything to do with returner. I mean, he just didn't hit it as good, 2 times he was into the wind. He tried to hit it high. I think he was overthinking it. He's a great punter, and he'll continue to punt great.
Yeah, Brett Thorson, that's a pretty good statement there by Kirby. I mean, he did have a couple of missed hits on Saturday night, but I think he's one of the last things that any of us need to worry about, he and Peyton Woodring. Even if they have a mishap for whatever reason, they're going to sort it out. Those 2 dudes are pros. It's awesome to watch them work.
Some of the Texas guys, Noah Thomas had 2 touchdowns. Just what do you think this game meant to him, and what has his progression been like for you guys as he's continued to step up and Colby up?
Yeah, he works, man. He busts his tail. That route he ran today down the red area, the whip route was great. The over route, Gunner made a great throw on. Noah works his butt off. I have a lot of appreciation for him. Wade, Noah, Zach, Dylan, London, they go about their business, man. I mean, Zach has some really big blocks in there. London does too. But proud for the Texas guys. Cash, especially Dylan Bell, Noah, Justin, Joseph. I mean, some big time guys from Texas that stepped up.
Yeah, it was cool to see those dudes. Georgia has a lot of Texas flavor in the starting units this year, and it was fun to see them go out and have success against the Longhorns on Saturday night. And Noah Thomas was a name specifically that people were looking for earlier in the year. They wanted to see him more often. They wondered where he was. People were throwing their hands up and saying, well, this was a wasted year for him. Not at all. He just had to learn what to do, which he had to overcome back in the spring, which was a little bit different in what he was being asked to do inside the offense. And then he had to get used to the physicality of it. And by the way, Colby Young was in front of him, and we know how Colby was playing when he was healthy. Are you going to take Colby off the field? No. So every guy has a role. And now that Noah has an opportunity to go out and show what he can do, he's contributing to this team, and he's proving to be everything that Georgia fans hoped he would be when he signed out of the portal this past spring.
Gunner's got 9 touchdowns in his past 2 home games, both against top 10 teams. Can you speak about just his confidence playing here?
Man, he just leads. He does a great job. I mean, the run to me to ice the game, I think it was 2nd long. I don't know what it was. They ran the quarterback sweep, and he just, I was like, man, he's going to get 3 or 4. And all of a sudden he stuck his foot in the ground and just ran through people and got a 1st down. That was a huge play in the game. His decision-making's been good. And look, I mean, he is a great player. He is a great competitor. But he also benefits from a really good offensive line, and Mike and the offensive staff. I mean, people don't give our offensive staff enough credit. I mean, they do a tremendous job, and we're hard to defend. I mean, there's 3 touchdowns on quarterback run, and then all of a sudden he's running the quarterback run, and there's a guy wide open in the back of the end zone that ran right by you that didn't block you, and it's a great play. And you can't do them unless you got a quarterback like Gunner that can execute with the words and the language and command the huddle and manage the clock. He's playing at a high level and a high clip right now, and we got to keep getting him better and getting him more tools to work with around him.
Kirby pointed to specifically the run that he made there to get that first down. I was fortunate enough that Gunner was running right at me, and everything he said there is exactly right. The play was flowing to the side. Gunner sticks his foot in the ground, turns it up, and just pounds through and picks up that first down. Tremendous play. And then everything else that he pointed to right there is absolutely true too, right? About the fact that he's playing at such a high level right now. It seems that the bigger the game, the bigger Gunner plays, because he knows exactly what's expected of him in this offense, and he trusts everybody around him. He knows what to do, and he's making it happen for Georgia right now.
I don't know that we brought out our best today. I mean, we had spurts where we didn't play well, you know, and we played well. We played well, and it's hard to play on the road. Trust me. That win last year at their place, I mean, the atmosphere was just electric. It's hard to play on the road in this league, and I got a lot of respect for Texas. I think they got a good football team, and Sark and them will keep getting better.
See, I love what Kirby said right there. It's not about the opponent. They don't bring out the best in us, and I don't think we've still played our best. That's what he just said. Full respect to them, but we are just getting better. And it goes back to everything we've been talking about already. Are you getting better down the stretch? And Georgia is doing all the things that they need to do to continue to improve, and it just happens to show up because, yes, this was a big game, but it's a big game because Georgia's in it, right? That's what makes it a big game. So that's not new. Georgia's not getting up because it's Texas. They're getting up because it's the next game. It's a big game, and they're going to show up and do their best. And the way they're working when we're not between the hedges is why they can perform the way they do when the big bright lights come on and the fireworks are going off and everybody's there with the TV cameras. It's just who Georgia is, and they're just getting better every day.
29 points in the fourth quarter. What did you think about how the offense finished this game, especially after a third quarter where it was hard to sustain all the drives?
Yeah, it's the approach we take. We're gonna dominate and try to win the fourth quarter. It's what we do in practice. It's what we do in the off season. It's what we build our core culture around is being a more physical team. And you have to recruit physical players, and they have to buy into that process. I don't know that a lot of these kids nowadays, they want to check. They don't want physicality. And if you have the check and no physicality, you end up with nothing. So we're not just getting checks at our place. We're hitting people.
Shots fired. Now, Kirby's answering that question directly. But if you follow this program at all, you know that part of this burgeoning rivalry between Texas and Georgia has been happening on the recruiting trail just as much as it has been happening on the field. And this past summer, Georgia lost a couple of recruits, one of which went to Texas. Last cycle, Georgia lost a recruit, went to Texas. And ultimately, those young men had a choice to make. It was about money. It was about brand. It was about everything else that wasn't football. And Kirby just made the statement right there. It's about the game here. It's about playing it a certain way. It's not for everybody. And if you don't want to be here, that's fine. But here, we are about it. We are about the physicality. We are about hitting people, imposing our will, and breaking the will of our opponent. And Kirby, without saying the words I just said, made that very, very clear.
Down and dirty message, where did that come from, and how did you see that being received by your kids this week?
Our player kids loved it because that's our team. That's our persona. That's who we are. So if you're willing to get down and dirty and you want to get down in the weeds and you want to go in there and hit people, stop people, crack people, if you're willing to get down and dirty, then we're going to take you down there and we're going to see how long you want to stay down there with us and how long you want to do it. The message came from Drew, and I talk about it every Monday, but we felt like it would be that kind of game, and that kind of game favors us when we make it that kind of game. We're not a track meet team. We're a physical team.
Like I said earlier, Georgia has already decided that they're about it. They've decided they want to get in that deep water. They've already made the choice that the waves are going to keep coming and I'm going to stay right here, right? They've already made that choice. The opponents for Georgia have to make that choice in real time. And since Georgia's already made that choice, they just get to go out there and bring it to their opponent and see whether or not they can stand it. And again, for the most part this year, the opponent hasn't wanted it the way Georgia's wanted it. And that has been the difference in this team. And it has made for an exciting and a very memorable 2025.
Important is it to have some kind of monitor?
Yeah, we don't do it all the time. We don't do it all the time. Do it sometimes. I don't, the mantra didn't win the game for us, guys. Okay, the players did. And that's the most important thing.
What did you see from Mello Jones tonight?
Right.
Man, he's a competitor. Kid came back, probably could have played last week. I thought he played well, tackled well, instinctive. He's getting better. He's getting more and more confidence. Proud of Mello and all he's been through to work. And, there's another in-state kid, highly recruited, highly touted. Everybody's asking him, why aren't you playing last year? And he was just getting better. Nobody applies it in life but process over results. He didn't get the results he wanted, but he got the process, and now he's starting to get some results.
There you go. It's the buy-in. It's the long game. And I've talked about it a lot here on the channel, how last year, even when they weren't playing, if they happened to get in the game late, or even if they weren't in the game, but they were there ready to go in, Kirby would get in their ear and coach them up. This just happened. This is why they did that. This is why we are doing this. But it wasn't just DEMELLO. It was Ellis Robinson. They were always attached at the shoulder pad. And Kirby was talking to them both and coaching them the entire time. All of that work, effort, care that he poured into them last year, that they've been working on in the offseason, that is what you are seeing right now play out on the field for the University of Georgia. Dalen Everett is CB1. Ellis Robinson is starting or playing so many snaps for this defense this year at this point in the season. And now DeMello Jones is right there with them. I don't know who you call CB2. I don't know how you rotate them in, but I know those young men have improved. They've gotten better, and they are flat ballers. And now that they're getting a chance to show it, Georgia's defense is going to be better for it.
Find some success in the running game in the fourth quarter. Texas came in second in the rush defense. Just as a coach, how proud of you that, despite some early struggles, you keep pushing and keep making an impact as the game progresses?
Yeah, I didn't think we struggled early. I thought we ran the ball well early in the first two drives. We ran the ball well, kept them off balance. What you do offensively is important. I thought we struggled in the mid-section into the game and back and forth. But, our coaching staff works hard at the run game. I coach the scout team defense, so every day I get on the mic and talk about how we're going to stone them every day. And sometimes our kids think it's harder against the scout D I get to coach than the defense they go against, because we take good players over there. And I think if you learn to strain in the run game, you can run the ball. But some people don't like to strain.
At the end of the day, it comes back to effort. That's what it's all about. And that's exactly what Kirby was talking about right there. And you could tell it on the field. Like, you can get the feeling of the game when you're down there on the sideline. And every time I looked up, it just felt like Georgia could get 7-8 yards whenever they wanted it on the ground. It just seemed like they had to decide, okay, this is what we're going to do right now. But when they wanted to do it, that's what they did. And that was evident early in the game. And then it was very evident late in the game because Nate started to get loose and stretch it out a little bit and have big runs. But even if they weren't, double-digit yardage runs, he was still straining and getting positive yards with every carry. And that, again, comes back to mindset, want to, and identity. And that's exactly who this team is. And they're just showing us. We're just getting to see it on the field.
Question, Coach, when you think that play like Jaden Harris at the end of the game?
The kickoff, yeah, it's awesome for him, man. That kid's worked his butt off. All he's trying to do is, Coach, I just want to contribute. I want to be a factor. I want to help. And he got knocked out on the return that they got a hold on that almost went for a touchdown. He got really, really hit, and he wanted to make up for it. And so we kicked it the other way, and he made a great play.
So happy for that young man, because that's what it's about. To start on special teams at the University of Georgia is a big deal. And a guy like that who's like, I am all about Georgia. I just want to contribute. I want to do what I can. It was great to see him make that play. Again, that was another play. I was fortunate enough. It happened right in front of me. And you could see his teammates rally around him and celebrate with him the play that he had made. And it meant something to him to be able to make a play like that on a stage like that on Saturday night. Another big win for the Dogs, 35-10 over Texas. The Dogs finished SEC league play at 7-1. And now we get into non-conference for the rest of the year before our playoff fate is ultimately decided. Go Dogs!
Told them, how about them fucking dogs? That's what I told them.